Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 7, Episode 10, and today could be the biggest game of the series so far, as if we win against Millwall in a semi-final of the FA Cup at Wembley, we'll be in the FA Cup final. Surely our biggest achievement of our career so far. If we get there, we'll be playing either 4th or 6th place in the Premier League. Tottenham against Southampton. They play off tomorrow, but we're more worried about our one. We've still got Jamal Lewis suspended. Konza and Dabor are both cup tied and Matijou's out injured, so we've got a few problems particularly at the back, but hopefully we'll be able to find a way to get a result and get ourselves into that massive final. I know the domestic cups in real life may not be quite as prevalent as they were previously. Their importance is slightly tarnished by European competitions and the finances of the Premier League, but this career is all about trophies. I love the FA Cup, I love the Carabao Cup. I want to get as many domestic competitions on the board as possible, no matter which country we're in, and this would be a great achievement for Newcastle, who still haven't won a trophy in years in game. Obviously, there's not much to talk about since the last episode. You were with me for that, which was the Arsenal game. Again in the FA Cup. We haven't played another match since for 3 weeks. So the lads might be a little bit rusty, but hopefully it's the rest they needed and they're starting to get used to our training patterns. We're not going to worry about the league too much more now, as we're 13 points clear of 18th place Millwall, who are on the cusp of relegation. So an FA Cup final may be all the more important to them to give them one massive memory in a disappointing season. But for us, we're going to finish mid-table. There's that group between 8th and 15th which are fairly close together, just 10 points separating them all, and we're going to be in the middle of that somewhere. So we've done our job for the year. Comfortable mid-table mediocrity. We've pulled them away from the relegation zone, and now we can focus on the FA Cup. So let's go and get into the game. If we do get through, then the final episode of the season will be the final and a season review, but let's not count our chickens. We've got to go and win the game first. So hopefully Wilson and Iwobi will stay on scoring form as we try to get the winning ways in this FA Cup tie. We're in strong form. We've won 4 of our last 5 games. 2 of them were in the FA Cup, although we needed extra time to beat Peterborough a few weeks beforehand. Millwall are in inconsistent form, but they have started to pick up some wins recently. They've got a few players out injured, so we're both missing a few of our first choice 11. So the lineup on screen at the moment is the one we used against Arsenal. I'm not sure if we want to change it. I'm just going to replace Danilo with Rivera. It's how the lads are a bit more comfortable playing. They've been doing it for some time. That Danilo change was just because we were away to a top half team. Against Millwall, we should dominate the ball and hopefully we'll be able to do well on the front foot. So Rika and Klein have had to come in at fullbacks. We've still got Declan Greenwood on the bench, or do I replace him for this game with Martin Chapman? He's now signed his deal and is available. So do you know what? I'm going to do it. Martin Chapman's on the bench. The young kid, is he 15 or 16? He's 16 years of age. He is on the bench for the FA Cup semi-final. And if we are in the position where we're winning comfortably, we'll certainly give him a debut. But aside from that, it's normal service. We've got probably the exact team out you'd expect with the injuries we've got. We've got Raya in goal. Rika and Klein are the fullbacks with Congolo and Lascelles in the middle. Douglas Luiz is in that Segundo Volante role with a defensive central midfielder in Rivera. And then we've got Arzani, Sigurdsson and Iwobi as the 3, in behind Callum Wilson up front. Wilson and Iwobi both in double figures for the season now, and hopefully a few others can contribute today too. I'd love to get to the FA Cup final. I'm sure you can probably tell that, and hopefully we'll have a massive achievement and a chance to win our first major trophy of the series. Let's get into it then and see if we can get a result. Here we go then, very similar formation, a 4-2-3-1 for Millwall. They've just got the 2 slightly more defensive central midfielders, but hopefully they won't cause us too many problems. They've got Danny Ings on the right wing, which seems a bit strange. Gomez, the youngster who came through at United, and then Dummett and John Joe Kenny, the fullbacks, with Chancellor and Bemba in the middle. They've had a lot of money and investment in this series, so it's going to be a really hard tie for us, but I'm hoping we can dominate the game and make the most of their relegation struggles in the league. The lads are motivated. We've told them to pick up where they left off. It might take a little while to get our sharpness back, but if we can keep possession, Millwall will get tired before us. So here's Rika with the ball to Rivera. They've just played a 1-2. It went for the early long ball over the top, but we've missed out the challenge in the middle. The highlight ends though, there's no danger to our goal, and with a minute gone we've settled in okay. It's Ings with the ball, Millwall with the first chance to come forward, but he's giving it away to Douglas Luiz. Congolo plays it into Rivera, keeps the ball to Iwobi on the left-hand side. The fullback had gone on the overlap, but just stepped back now. Iwobi's charged the length into the box, and it's a good effort straight at the keeper, who makes a comfortable save and does well to hold it. Good early signs from Iwobi though, he's certainly been our star so far. 25 minutes gone, we've not seen much action in attacking areas for either side in fact. Sigurdsson's got the ball in a defensive position. He gives it to Arzani, finds Wilson. We've got two men up but not many on the counter supporting. Iwobi's got the ball on the left. Danny Ings gets the challenge in but Iwobi keeps possession. It just slows the momentum though. Sigurdsson goes for a shot but he's closed down quickly. At 35-36 now he's really starting to struggle physically and he'll probably be replaced next season by that new attacking midfielder we're getting on a free. Lascelles heads the corner away. Iwobi's given away a penalty. The marking in the box is poor and this is about to go disastrously. We need some heroics from David Raya. Danny Ings steps up. What a save by Raya. We found a new hero, everyone. David Raya with a brilliant save from the penalty. It wasn't a poor one by any means. Right in that bottom corner and Raya makes a brilliant save. Gomez has another shot from a free kick and we're going to demand more because the lads have been poor in the last 10. We've got an attacking position now with Ricker. He gets it into Douglas Luiz, 30 yards from goal, to Arzani, back to Sigurdsson, shoots but it's blocked. That was goal bound if it hadn't been. The ball's cleared away by Millwall on the highlight ends, and with 5 minutes to the break, the only shot Millwall have had on target was their penalty. It's half time, it's been a really poor game. Yes, Millwall had the clear-cut chance with a penalty, but they haven't shown much else, and there's not been many attacking highlights for either side. We're going to tell the lads, what are we going to say? We're disappointed, because that's been a really poor performance. Arzani's having a terrible game on the right, and he's on a yellow card, so I'm going to bring the wonder kid Lavinas off. Let's give one of the youngsters a chance to be a hero. He goes on to his winger role as a support duty, and hopefully in the second half, that direct approach out wide will help us out. It's Millwall with the kick-off and they're keeping the ball in the middle. Donza gets the ball from Locatelli, but the highlight ends, and thankfully we don't see any further danger to our goal. A free kick on the edge for Millwall. Gomez shoots. Raya again. Tips in onto the post and saves the rebound. Brilliant work from him. And a lot of our lads are looking nervous, which I'm not quite sure how to address. We'll try and encourage them and see if it works. Sigurdsson with the ball into Iwobi. Hits the bar. Oh, it could have been redemption after conceding the penalty. Albeit we didn't concede a goal. But look how many of the lads are nervous or apprehensive. That's something we've really got to think about for next season. Getting some people in who have got more leadership skills or who are a bit more experienced in these situations. An hour gone is Sigurdsson with an out-swinging corner. Lavinas loses out in the air, but it falls to Iwobi 30 yards out. He goes back to Rivera. Congolo's got to turn inside, finds Rivera again. He backhills to Iwobi. 25 yards to Sigurdsson. Poor effort, is wide at the post. And it looks like we're clutching at straws here by shooting from silly angles. We're going to take Rivera off, go back to what we did against Arsenal. Danilo's on. Rivera's one of the lads who was nervous anyway. We're going to put him as a deep line playmaker on defend, and he's going to drop into that holding role again. Let's make sure we've got a solid base. We certainly don't want to concede. 15 minutes to go. I'm not sure what else we can do. We've not really got any attacking game changers, but Luiz on the edge. There's one of the nervous men, Douglas Luiz, and he has saved the day with a brilliant effort. And that's the pure role of the Segundo Volante. Late attacking charges from deep. You're often going to be unmarked, and he made the most of it with some brilliant technique. Now Lavinas on the counter-attack. Hopefully we're going to grow in confidence now. Forces a foul. It's brilliant work. Locatelli's on a booking. He's got to be off. Don't bottle this, referee. He needs to go, and he does go. Martin Atkinson books him. How old must he be now? And thank goodness we've got 10 men to play against, as well as being 1-0 up. Iwobi gets the ball out to Ricker on the left. His cross is blocked, but back to Danilo. He's found Douglas Luiz, the scorer. He's got Sigurdsson, but he shoots over the bar. And I've had enough of Gylfi Sigurdsson. He's very tired, and he's not been great in this game. Ayoze Perez will come on. He'll go into an advanced playmaker role. He prefers the support duty. I'm just going to have a look at his attributes to see what he might be best at. I'm going to put him on attack. Let's try and support the striker and see this game off. If we get a second goal, it's over, and we've got to try and make that happen. 5 minutes to go, it's Lavinas with a corner. Cooper heads away as far as Mbemba. It's knocked down, Danilo gets the shot away but it's saved and it's behind for another corner. Good work by Lascelles to stop that clearance there, and Lavinas has a corner and outswinger this time. He's taking his time apparently. We don't have any duties on such as time wasting. We're not asking them to be disciplined or slow it down. Lavinas delivers to the front post, it's cleared. This time to the back post and Ings clears away and he's going to get a second bite but puts it out for a throw. 2 minutes to go, surely we'll hold on. We're going to go to our team instructions now. We are going to time waste and be more disciplined. I don't know about playing for set pieces. Why not? Let's go and do that. In transition, we want to slow the pace down and we want to hold our shape. This is all about keeping possession. When we're out of it, we're still going to push and harry as we have been, but we want to keep the ball for as much of this last few minutes as possible. It's how many stoppage time minutes will be added on. 4 it's going to be, so hopefully we can see it out. Lavinas with a free kick. He's put it off the wall and it's out for a corner kick. But we're back for a throw-in on the left. Iosi gets the ball from Ricker and Danilo. It's cleared long by Millwall, but Congolo heads away. Ricker gets it inside to Louise, who looks like being a hero at the moment. Callum Wilson finds Lavinas. Charges past 2 shoots. It's blocked to Wilson. Blocked again to Ricker. Millwall throwing their bodies on the line, but thankfully it's come away and we're able to get an attack on again. Iwobi finds Callum Wilson, puts it wide, and we're going to have a nervy last minute now, and we'll drop to cautious for it. We're just going to keep possession, so hopefully the mentality won't make too much difference as Iwobi gets it from Douglas Luiz. We're keeping the ball brilliantly in this half, and we've been a different team in the second period. Yes, Millwall have 10 men now, but for most of the half it was 11v11. Klein's fouled, it's brilliant work from him, and Kalu's going to get a yellow card as well. Brilliant possession from the lads, and they've really seen out this game professionally. Klein's going to take the free kick, just 15 seconds left. Iosi finds Douglas Luiz and Danilo. He switches it out to Ricker on the left. Still attacking from the fullback area to Iwobi. Back out to Ricker again. The delivery's blocked, but the full-time whistle goes. We are in the FA Cup final. A brilliant achievement. Our first major final of the series. The only other cup final I think we've played is the Northern Irish Cup final with Dungannon Swifts. In that one we were heavy underdogs, and in this one we probably will be too. But a really professional second half performance, and we are into a major showpiece cup final. I'm absolutely delighted, and we're going to go and praise the lads for their effort. We'll passionately tell them that they've done well, congratulate them for their achievement, and after securing Premier League survival, we can really start to focus on that. We've got another £1 million in the bank, which is really good given the club's financial position. The goal from Douglas Luiz was brilliant, and we're going to go and praise him for it. We can't really praise him for his finishing, but we can tell him he had a good game. We win the semi-final, there's our confirmation. We don't want to worry about Brendan Rodgers. Him and Thomas Tuchel, who's the Tottenham manager, they're both all over us at the moment, saying we're a poor manager, we don't deserve to be at this level, and they're both getting proven wrong by our performances. So brilliant work from the lads. We'll do the press conference off camera in a minute, but we've got to worry about being in an FA Cup final. I presume it will come right at the end of the season, it does, so we're going to ignore all of the rest of the league games. We can't qualify for Europe and it's almost certain we won't be relegated, so you don't want to see mid-table mediocrity when there's a Showpiece Cup final on the way. So we'll be back for that one on the 17th of May. We're going to skip one day into the future to find out who it's against, and we'll be back in a moment to find out if it's Spurs or Southampton. There's our confirmation then. We're going to be playing 4th place Tottenham in the FA Cup final. A bit of an advantage as they had the home ground as Wembley about 5 years ago as this will be. Harry Kane with the winner from the penalty spot, and they look like a very good side coming into the final. We're going to go and have a quick look at their squad. I think this is the series where they've got the absolute superstars. They're doing really well. They're up in the Champions League places and they're competing at the top level of English and European football. They've got Horace Stewart. He's injured at the moment. I don't know if he'll be out for that one. He's back by the final. He's a Ballon d'Or contender, one of the best footballers in the world. He's scoring almost a goal a game for England, a goal in 2 for Tottenham, and he's been shining at every level of football he's played. I mean, look at his stats, he's absolutely ridiculous. But I want to finish off this episode by looking at our plans for next season. Obviously, when we get to the next episode, we'll have the FA Cup final and season review. But we've really got quite an overhaul job to do here at Newcastle. And if we look at the finances, they're really not in a very strong position. Yes, we'll get some money for next season from the TV revenue and the good deals that the Premier League have for sponsorship. However, if we look at the contracts, we've got a major problem with the wage bill. Thankfully, Otamendi's retiring, so 150 grand a week won't be leaving leaving the club. That's excellent news for us, but we've got some others up there on huge money. The likes of Iwobi, Arzani and Raya I'm not too worried about. They're earning what they get. Ayoze Perez is a backup player on 85 grand a week, which for a mid-table Premier League club is not acceptable. Danilo's on 60. He's unhappy at the club, so will probably go. He's only wanted on loan though, which is a problem. Radi Krunic is wanted. He's a man we'd probably let go too. Not made much of an impact bar that Chelsea Carabao Cup tie. And then there's a few of these backup players that are really getting on a bit now. So the likes of Dabor and Seferovic, yes, they're not on the biggest wages in the world, but they're really poor backup options and can't cut it in the Premier League. Callum Wilson's my biggest decision to make at the moment. Our director of football has had offers for him before, but they were really poor ones and not worth selling him for, and obviously we didn't have money to get a replacement at the time. He's 33 years of age now, starting to decline physically, although he's still quite good at the moment, has had a few injuries and is an injury prone player, and unfortunately I just don't know if long term he's the solution. I know for us we're not going to get a say in these transfers or contracts, but a lot of the players we'd quite like out are wanted at the moment. The other one that's definitely going to be going is Nathaniel Klein. We've only got 1 year left on his contract. Look at his physicals declining hugely, and now we've got Konza in who can play on the right as well. He's going to be able to do a job if need be. So Nathaniel Klein's another one our director of football will hopefully get out. We've certainly got no plans for him in the first team next year, but we're really looking good overall, so hopefully we can get a few changes in for next year, even if it's just replacing some of the rotational and backup options for players on lower wages that we pay a small transfer fee for. It's about decreasing the average age of the squad and making sure we've got some young backups with a pathway into the first team. Martin Chapman will replace Klein, so that's another one we're replacing for free, and hopefully next season we'll start to see the benefits of that. But that will be all for this episode. If you did enjoy it, please put a thumbs up on the video as always. You know when we're going to be back next. It's Tottenham in the FA Cup final at Wembley. Our chance to win our first major trophy of our career so far. And what an achievement it would be. And proof that it was a great decision to leave Barnsley. Let me know down in the comments what you think of our summer plans. What do you think our director of football's going to do? Do you think that just because he's got the good attributes and he seems to be using the market well, that he's going to be able to know what I want and do the best for us? Or are we going to be forced to deal with an ageing squad for another year yet? We've got a couple of games in hand in the league, but it's certainly not going to be my focus now. The likes of Chapman will get some game time and Lavinas on the right wing, so we're going to have a very youthful right hand side of the pitch, and if it costs us a few points then so be it. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my two long term stories, this one The Head Coach, where we've obviously got a massive cup final to look forward to, and my other series Part of the Furniture with Torquay United, the One Club Challenge, where we try to take them from the lowest playable league all the way to the top of English and European football. But a massive thanks for watching and your continued support with the series as always, and we'll see you next time for our first big cup final.